What's up, guys? It's your boy from Madden.com, and today I have 3 words for you. Skill-based passing. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, let's find out today. Now, I have timestamps in the video, so you could skip over this part of the video, but let me just say, please don't, because it's kind of important that we talk about the settings real quick. If you want to skip over, I don't blame you. I know it's super boring, but you need to know how to set your settings properly for this new feature. So hit start, hit options, hit settings. And then we're going to go to game options. And then here it is, skill-based passing. I'm going to talk about each of these things as briefly as I can. But like I said, this information is pretty important regarding how you use the feature. So let's talk about passing type first. It's on classic right now. And when you have it on classic, basically what that means is you have it on the passing style that you've been using your entire life. Maybe not since you were a baby, but since you've been playing Madden, and it has kind of minimal control over where you place the ball. Like a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and it's fine. Like we have no issues with classic passing because we've been using it forever. Now, we're not here to talk about classic. We're here to talk about skill-based passing. And let me make this very clear. When you have it on placement and accuracy, which is the one we're going to be talking about today, you can still classic pass. You just don't activate skill-based passing with LT or L2. So keep that in mind. Now, one thing that needs to be mentioned is when you turn on placement and accuracy, you activate it with LT, L2. What does that mean? On classic, you can't low ball because that's LT or L2 as well. But with placement and accuracy, you can still low ball. I know it's a little confusing, but we'll talk about it more when we get to the actual demo. So just keep that in mind. I think placement and accuracy is the thing that everybody should be on because you'll be able to get the maximum control over what you're doing in the game, and you get the best of both worlds. I didn't talk about placement, but placement is just basically there's going to be like this circle around your receiver. You'll see it during the demo. Like imagine a 5-yard circle coming out from the middle of your receiver. And this kind of allows you to place it within that circle. But placement and accuracy is going to give you like full control over what you're doing. So that's why I recommend using this. Passing slowdown. I have this on off because it's off by default and it says not enabled during online play. So I really have no idea what exactly this does because I haven't messed with it yet. And then these next two are very important. Freeform reticle max distance and freeform reticle speed. So I recommend everybody kind of starts on near because like I talked about earlier, there's this like 5-yard circle that comes out from your receiver. And then when you have it on near, this is going to give you like, I don't know, 1 extra yard to each side of that circle if you have it on 7 of 20 reticle speed. So this is where these two kind of come in tandem. 7 of 20 is the default setting, and just go ahead and leave it on that for now because it's plenty fast. I mean, if you're a freaking psychopath, if you have it up really higher than 10. So on 7 of 20, like I said, it'll give you about a 1-yard buffer on the edges of that circle. If you have it on far, it'll maybe give you a 5-yard buffer on each side of that circle. And then no max distance, it'll be another 3 or 5 yards on top of that. So we're talking maybe a 15-yard radius around your receiver. And keep in mind, that's on 7 of 20 reticle speed. Because, like I said, the reticle comes out from underneath your receiver, and this kind of determines how fast it goes from your receiver. And then, obviously, when a throw happens, there's a limit just based on the speed. So I've talked about the gist of the things that you need to know. Let's get into the demo. All right, so it's time for the demo. Let's go ahead and talk about verticals. This is going to be the play that we use to demonstrate skill-based passing. And if you skipped over the settings, then you might be confused, but that's okay. I will kind of walk you through what I talked about in that part of the video. So I'm going to show you skill-based passing with the outside receiver first, so Mike Evans. And how you activate skill-based passing is with L2 or LT, and then use your left stick to kind of pass lead. So right there, you're going to see that it really wasn't much of a pass lead. It kind of looked like classic passing. Let's do it again. But see, look at that circle on the ground. Did you see that gray circle? I'll try to zoom in on it when I get this into like Premiere. But as you can see, like the reticle on near goes about 1 yard outside of that circle. See how it's on the top left part of that circle? It's going to give you just a little bit more control over what you're doing. And this is what I recommend starting at, simply because it's just very minimal difference from Classic. So you don't want to move too far away from what we've been doing forever. So start on near, and then when you're comfortable, so right here, that's a really good pass lead. So let's go ahead and go to instant replay here. This is kind of the power of skill-based passing. What you're going to see is we get a really good pass lead towards the pylon, and we get kind of a back shoulder throw here. And you see how the guy, I mean, it's Mike Evans, so let's keep that in mind here. But he's covered, and then you get this back shoulder animation for basically a touchdown. And that's something you would not have gotten with regular passing. So let me this won't be a good example. I'm just using Classic there. Let me use Classic for the same example and show you that you're not going to get that animation. See this right here? Boom. I mean, he's swatted just by using Classic passing. I know it was just man coverage, but I'll do it again. So right here, same thing is going to happen. You're not getting that animation when you're not using skill-based passing. So like I said, use placement and accuracy, because it's going to give you the ability to use skill-based passing as well as use Classic passing. Okay, so you've kind of gotten a good look at that fade over there. What are some other use cases? So what I'll say is, like, for instance, on a zig, you know, you want to pass lead it a little bit further out away from the defender. That's a good way to utilize skill-based passing, is just place it further away from the receiver to the point where it's either an incompletion or, you know, a catch. You do not want to, obviously, pass lead the zig in. So right here, that was kind of a classic pass there. But what I want to show with this crosser here is that you can kind of throttle down in the middle of the field before it gets to the safety. So right, I didn't get a good one. You want it to kind of be like behind the receiver before he can get to the safety. And like I said, it takes some practice. So like right there, let's go to instant replay, because this is a good example of like what you can do with skill-based passing. So right here, if you do a regular pass like right here, he's probably going to get broken up by the safety. But look what happens. We throttle down and we place it to the inside of the field on his back shoulder. And that just helps. That gives you a chance to catch it. Doesn't give the safety a chance to pick it or swat it. This is a pretty safe throw. And this is only possible with skill-based passing. So that's another good use case for using it. So what would happen on like maybe a drag or something? It's kind of the same as like the zig that we talked about. What it's going to do is it's just going to lead your receiver better. And in years past, if you use Classic, okay, I meant to put them on a drag. If you use Classic passing, well, everybody's using Classic passing. When you were using it, it would basically be random in regards to how much of a lead you got, and you know, if it was giving you a good lead for your receiver. With this, you can guarantee the lead by doing like this, and it's always going to be in front of the receiver because you're doing left trigger and then left stick to the right in that case to properly lead him out. So right here, this was a bad example of skill-based passing. Right here, what I did is if you imagine a clock, I did about a 5 o'clock lead, and that's where it went. And this outside third had a good chance of making a play because that was a bad passing. What I would have wanted to do is maybe do a 6 or 7 o'clock. So let's try that again. And sorry if any of this is confusing. This is like a pretty difficult demo, if I'm being honest, because this is still new to me. And I'm probably gonna have to do an update video on this in a month or so because I'm far from a expert on this. So right here, this is just going to be a classic pass. You see how it just went within that circle that's on the ground. So let me get a good look here. So right here, the safety made a great play, but this is exactly the use case you want to be using the skill-based passing. Look at how I get this animation. You see how Chris Godwin, he just kind of throttles down in the middle of the field, and then he tries to make the catch like this. This is how you want to be using this feature. So I've kind of given you a few different good use cases to be using this. Like I said, I have it on placement and accuracy. I have it on near for now, but I'll probably bump it up to far relatively soon. I would not be using the no max distance because you're kind of a psychopath if you'd be doing that right now. But yeah, I think it's a great feature, especially since you don't have to. You can still use classic passing. You can still use both things. So why not get used to it while you can? So go to practice mode, turn it on, throw some passes, some routes that you think it'll be good for, and then let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this. Because yeah, it's new. I like it so far, and I think it has a lot of potential. So yeah, drop a like if you enjoyed this breakdown. Really appreciate it. It helps me grow. Subscribe for more of that Madden 23 content. And as always, if you need additional help, acemadden.com. We're going to have our first ebook out on the 19th. So make sure you hit a membership or get a membership. And then, yeah, that's going to be it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.